The eShop is absolutely popping right now, and some of these Nintendo Switch deals, they're the kind that make your backlog nervous. Let's dive straight into 20 must-see games you seriously don't want to miss. Imagine if Subnautica went wholesome and swapped horror for hugs. That's Loddlenaut, a cozy underwater adventure where you clean up a polluted alien ocean and raise squishy little creatures called Loddles. Armed with a bubble blaster and a jetpack, you drift through neon reefs, vacuum up trash, and slowly bring the world back to life. It's incredibly chill. Every swirl of clear water feels like progress, every rescued creature a tiny victory. There's light crafting, gentle exploration, and a subtle environmental message wrapped in pastel charm. The world feels alive, the Loddles are impossibly cute, and the whole vibe screams relax and stay a while. If you need a peaceful break between big adventures, this is pure aquatic bliss. Islets is one of those rare games that makes you smile from the first frame. You play as Eiko, a brave little mouse exploring floating islands that have drifted apart. Your goal? Reconnect them, literally, while battling sky pirates, quirky monsters, and a few surprisingly emotional story beats. The art is hand-drawn and full of life, and every new island feels like opening a storybook. The combat is snappy, the movement silky smooth, and the exploration deeply satisfying as each region clicks back into place. There's a warmth to it all, friendly characters, light humor, and just enough challenge to keep things engaging. It's a game about connection, courage, and finding your place in the world, wrapped in a bright, breezy Metroidvania package. Honestly, it's impossible not to love. Get ready to suplex some skeletons. Guacamelee 2 is a vibrant, dimension-hopping Metroidvania that doubles down on everything that made the original such a blast. You're back as Juan, the masked luchador hero, flipping between the worlds of the living and the dead while unleashing wrestling-inspired combos on anything foolish enough to challenge you. It's fast, funny, and stylish, packed with clever level design and a soundtrack that hits like a fiesta in your headphones. Every move you learn feels fantastic to pull off, and the way the game blends exploration with acrobatics is chef's kiss. Plus, the humor's on point, self-aware jokes, wild characters, and yes, a playable chicken who can fight demons. It's pure joy in game form, the kind that reminds you why you fell in love with platformers in the first place. If you love games that don't take themselves too seriously, West of Loathing is your jam. It's a stick-figure cowboy RPG packed with dad jokes, slapstick humor, and more puns than a tumbleweed deserves. You wander through a ridiculous Wild West full of haunted cows, cursed beans, and sarcastic dialogue options that'll make you snort laugh mid-quest. The gameplay mixes classic turn-based battles with open-world exploration, letting you customize your goofy gunslinger however you like. It's all hand-drawn in simple black and white, but somehow the world feels more alive than most realistic games. Every line of dialogue is comedy gold, and the writing carries the whole experience. If you're craving something clever, weird, and genuinely funny, West of Loathing is a treasure, proof that sometimes all you need are stickmen, sass, and a good spittoon joke. You think you know Tetris, then Tetris Effect Connected happens. This is the ultimate evolution of the classic puzzle game, turning every drop, spin, and line clear into a visual and musical experience. Each stage pulses with rhythm, color, and sound, transforming simple gameplay into something hypnotic. As you play, the music builds, every move syncing perfectly to the beat until it feels like you're performing a song rather than solving a puzzle. It's one of those games you can get lost in for hours, zoning out and finding that perfect flow state. The multiplayer connected mode adds a social twist, letting you team up or face off with others online. Even decades later, Tetris somehow still feels brand new here. Mesmerizing, emotional, and weirdly uplifting. Play with headphones and you'll see exactly why this one gets called transcendent. Okay, now this one's pure chaos in the best way possible. Shotgun Cop Man answers the question nobody asked. What if your gun was also your jump button? You play a cop literally blasting his way through hell, every recoil propelling you higher as you platform, fight demons, and yes, try to arrest Satan. It's an action platformer with tight precision mechanics, clever level design, and that one more try energy that keeps you hooked. The movement system alone feels wild. Learning to control your shotgun blasts mid-air is equal parts hilarious and addictive. It's got over 150 levels of mayhem, a banging soundtrack, and just enough absurd humor to make it memorable. Whether you're chasing high scores or just vibing with the chaos, Shotgun Cop Man delivers a perfect mix of skill, silliness, and speedrun potential. If you've ever wanted to feel like a god dodging bullet storms in space, Crimzon Clover World Explosion is your calling. This is Bullet Hell Bliss, a top-down shoot-'em-up that floods the screen with lasers, explosions, and score multipliers so satisfying they might rewire your brain. It's fast, flashy, and utterly addictive once you get into the rhythm of weaving through chaos. The soundtrack pumps you up like you're piloting a one-man army, and those screen-clearing power attacks? Pure dopamine. Even if you're not a shmup veteran, the game's modes let you scale the challenge, making it surprisingly welcoming. Every run becomes a flow of reflexes, pattern recognition, and that rush of "I did it" adrenaline. It's the kind of old-school thrill that proves simple gameplay, when done right, can still be ridiculously exciting today. Few games hit as hard as Final Fantasy X, and having both 10 and 10-2 in one polished package on Switch feels like holding a JRPG time capsule. You follow Tidus and Yuna through Spira, a gorgeous world of temples, summons, and heart-punching moments that defined a generation. The HD remaster sharpens everything. The cutscenes, the music, and those turn-based battles that still feel silky smooth decades later. Then there's 10-2, the sequel that flips the tone with a fun Dressphere combat system and more upbeat storytelling. Together, they're an emotional 1-2 punch. One game makes you cry, the other makes you grin. And the portability of the Switch means you can revisit Spira wherever you are. Perfect for both nostalgia trips and new players ready to fall in love all over again. Creepy, clever, and unforgettable. Little Nightmares 2 is a horror platformer that proves atmosphere can do more than jump scares ever could. You play as Mono, a tiny figure in a twisted world where everything feels just a little off. Every hallway creaks, every shadow hides something wrong, and the tension never lets up. You'll sneak past grotesque teachers, unravel dark puzzles, and constantly wonder what's real and what's nightmare. The art direction is stunning. Every frame could be a horror illustration, and the storytelling hits harder than you expect from a mostly wordless game. It's eerie, emotional, and beautifully unsettling from start to finish. If you love games that crawl under your skin and stay there, Little Nightmares 2 will absolutely haunt you in the best possible way. PARANORMASIGHT is one of those games that grabs you by the curiosity and never lets go. It's a supernatural mystery visual novel set in 1980s Tokyo, where rumors of curses turn terrifyingly real. You'll switch perspectives between multiple characters, each tangled in ghost stories that intersect in creepy, brilliant ways. It's part investigation, part mind game, the kind of experience where your decisions can literally come back to haunt you. The atmosphere oozes style, dim lighting, eerie sound design, and music that knows exactly when to make your spine tingle. And the writing? Surprisingly sharp. Part urban legend, part tragedy. It's not a jump scare kind of horror, but it will get under your skin. If you love a good mystery that keeps you guessing until the very last twist, this one's pure gold. If chaos games make you anxious, PowerWash Simulator is your digital vacation. There are no timers, no pressure, just you, a power washer, and the infinite satisfaction of turning grime into gleam. You'll clean cars, playgrounds, mansions, even entire theme parks, watching dirt melt away in streaks of perfection. It's meditative, almost hypnotic, with a calm loop of rinse, repeat, relax. The sound design is half the joy. That crisp spray noise scratches a very specific part of the brain. It's also sneakily social. Co-op lets you team up and clean together, which somehow turns washing a bus into quality hangout time. There's something so zen about finding order in chaos, and this game nails it. Whether you play for 10 minutes or 2 hours, you'll walk away weirdly refreshed, like your soul just got power washed too. This one's a masterclass in how to remake a classic. Star Ocean: The Second Story R takes the beloved 1998 RPG and gives it a stunning 2.5D facelift without losing its heart. You follow Claude and Rena on a sci-fi meets fantasy adventure that jumps between starships and enchanted worlds, filled with branching choices and multiple endings. The real-time combat feels fast and fluid, mixing old-school charm with modern polish. Every pixel glows, every soundtrack feels like a love letter to JRPG fans, and the new voice acting breathes fresh life into familiar moments. It's packed with optional content too. Crafting, private actions, relationship paths, all woven into a story that's both epic and personal. Whether you played it decades ago or are discovering it fresh, Star Ocean: The Second Story R feels timeless, a true Star Reborn. If you love strategy games that make you think, Tactics Ogre Reborn is basically tactical chess wrapped in epic fantasy. You control squads on grid-based maps where every decision, from movement to dialogue choice, can ripple through the story. It's not just about battles, it's about politics, morality, and consequence. The story branches wildly with multiple paths and endings, so every playthrough feels personal. This version polishes the original's mechanics, smooths out menus, and adds voice acting that brings weight to its already gripping drama. It's dense, deep, and absolutely satisfying when your perfect strategy finally pays off. The art style holds that nostalgic charm, and the music, still one of the best soundtracks in tactical RPG history. If you crave smart gameplay and rich storytelling, Tactics Ogre Reborn stands as a tactical masterpiece that rewards patience and precision.
To a tale filled with choices that will determine the conclusion of your unforgettable.
Grab your drumsticks, or Joy-Cons, because Taiko no Tatsujin Rhythm Festival turns your Switch into a full-blown arcade party. It's rhythm gaming at its most joyful, with colorful visuals, catchy tunes, and a mascot that radiates pure happiness. You'll drum along to over 70 songs, from J-pop hits to game soundtracks and classical remixes. It's ridiculously easy to pick up, but tricky to master. That perfect one more try balance that keeps you hooked. Whether you're playing solo, battling friends, or chasing high scores, it's impossible not to grin the whole time. The motion controls work surprisingly well, and even without the physical drum accessory, it's still a blast. It's loud, it's silly, and it's pure fun. Exactly what Nintendo's spirit is all about. Honestly, it's hard to stay still while playing this one. Prepare to drum like nobody's watching. This is cozy gaming at its absolute best. Rune Factory 4 Special blends farming, dungeon crawling, and small-town romance into one wonderfully addictive loop. You wake up with amnesia because, of course, become royalty by accident, and then start growing crops, befriending monsters, and exploring magical caves. One day you're harvesting turnips, the next you're slaying dragons or going on a date with your favorite villager. It's that blend of calm and adventure that keeps you hooked. You always have something new to do. The remastered version looks crisp on Switch and adds extra story events and quality of life updates that make it feel fresh. It's charming, funny, and endlessly replayable. A comfort game through and through. If Stardew Valley had more swords and spells, it would look a lot like Rune Factory 4 Special. If video games could hang in an art museum, GRIS would be framed right next to the watercolors. It's a hand-painted platformer that tells its story entirely through visuals and music. No dialogue, just emotion. You play as a young woman moving through a world of shifting color and light, each stage reflecting a stage of grief and healing. Every jump, every puzzle, every swell in the soundtrack feels deeply intentional, like the game itself is quietly saying, keep going. The controls are simple, but the impact? Massive. It's calming, hopeful, and heartbreakingly beautiful all at once. If you've ever wanted to just feel something through gameplay, not stress or challenge, but pure emotion, GRIS is that rare gem that sticks with you long after the credits roll. Nostalgia and innovation collide perfectly in The Messenger. It starts like an 8-bit ninja side-scroller, fast, tough, and full of throwback energy. Then halfway through, it transforms into a full-blown 16-bit Metroidvania. That twist alone is genius, but the gameplay is what seals it. Razor-sharp controls, tight platforming, and a soundtrack that absolutely shreds. You'll leap through lava caverns, dodge enemy shurikens mid-air, and feel like a true ninja every time you nail a combo. The writing's hilarious too, self-aware, witty, and full of unexpected laughs. It's tough in places but always fair, the kind of challenge that makes your eventual victory feel earned. Every pixel feels crafted with love, and by the end, you realize it's not just a retro throwback, it's a love letter to classic gaming itself. Florence proves you don't need epic quests or boss fights to make something unforgettable. This short interactive story follows a young woman's journey through love, loss, and self-discovery. You experience her life through small, intimate moments, brushing teeth together, rearranging dialogue bubbles during arguments, scrolling through social media in silence. It's the kind of game where the gameplay is the storytelling. Each simple interaction carries emotional weight. The watercolor art and delicate music make every chapter feel like a page in a beautifully sad comic book. It's over in less than an hour, but it'll stay with you for years. If you've ever had a relationship that shaped who you are, or one that ended before you were ready, Florence hits right in the heart. Bittersweet, gentle, and so very human. If you could bottle pure wholesomeness into a video game, it'd look like The Spirit and the Mouse. You play as Lila, a small mouse who accidentally gets zapped by lightning and gains the ability to communicate with electric spirits called Kiblins. From there, you scurry through a cozy little French village, fixing lights, solving small problems, and spreading kindness one wire at a time. There's no combat, no stress, just exploration, gentle puzzles, and conversations that warm your heart. The atmosphere feels like a Pixar short brought to life. Charming, heartfelt, and quietly magical. It's the perfect game to unwind with after a long day. You're not saving the world, you're lighting it up again, one tiny spark at a time. It's cozy gaming perfection. Ending on a wild one, PowerSlave Exhumed is pure 90s action energy bottled into your Switch. Originally a cult classic shooter, this remaster brings back the chaotic joy of blasting your way through ancient Egyptian tombs crawling with monsters. You'll uncover artifacts, find secret passages, and slowly build up powers that make you feel unstoppable. It's a mix of classic Doom-style speed and early Metroid-like exploration, all drenched in dusty, sun-baked atmosphere. The controls feel surprisingly smooth for a retro title, and the level design still holds up today. Clever, non-linear, and rewarding curiosity. It's unapologetically old school, the kind of game that makes you grin as you rocket jump over lava just because you can. If you love that golden age vibe of discovery and destruction, PowerSlave Exhumed still absolutely rules the pyramid. And that's it, 20 awesome Switch deals worth every minute of your playtime. Which one's already in your cart? Drop it in the comments and hit subscribe so you don't miss the next big Nintendo roundup.